Hello, brothers, sisters, friends. Welcome to another Coffee Moments with the Father. And as you know, we are going through the book of Mark. We're going to be talking about different reflections from the book of Mark. And today, I want to talk about the small things that matter. If you look in the book of Mark, Jesus did so many incredible and awesome events. He called the disciples in a grand way. He drove out the evil spirits and even healed the paralytics. There were so many incredible things that Jesus was doing. But you know what? There's something special within this whole passage. Can we look at it? Let's turn to Mark chapter 1, verse 29 to 31. As soon as they left the synagogue, they went with James and John to the home of Simon and Andrew. Simon's mother-in-law was in bed with a fever, and they told Jesus about her. So he went to her, took her hand, and helped her. The fever left her, and she began to wait on them. Did you see that something special? In the midst of all the big events that Jesus was doing, did you notice it? You know, Jesus and the disciples, they just came back from the synagogue. And it was a momentous occasion. He preached the word. Many people responded. He healed the sick there and even drove a man with evil spirit. Can you imagine the disciples was like feeling, yes, it was a great day. And Jesus coming back was probably tired and ready to just, let's get a good meal and rest. Then the disciples came up to Jesus when they were at home and they said, Jesus, Peter's mother-in-law is sick. Can you imagine? How would Jesus be feeling right now? You know, Jesus could have been like, oh, another case. I'm tired, guys. Can I meet her needs later on? Let me take a rest. But you know what Jesus did? He stopped everything and he went straight to Peter's mother-in-law. To most people, Peter's mother-in-law being sick is just a small thing. But to Jesus, it was not a small thing. It was a thing that mattered to Peter. Something special, something important. So often in life, sometimes have you ever felt insignificant? Have you ever felt like, well, nobody pay attention to me. My things are not important. They won't remember. My opinions, it's not a big thing. But with Jesus, your small things are big to him. Things that are personal to you are important to the Lord. Patrice would like to share an incident about this situation where she also felt this way.
Well, I appreciate what Tech Ming is sharing about sometimes we feel things are unimportant to other people. Maybe we are not so important to other people. I had a little bit of an experience with that just 2 weeks ago on Mother's Day. Not that my kids didn't take care of me, but it's the feeling I had. See, my two daughters are in the States, and, they're going through COVID-19 lockdown and job situations, so many changes, and we keep in touch, but, they're not mothers yet. So Mother's Day maybe is not so important to them. And I'm here with Tech Ming and my son, and every day is the same, right? We're always together. So during COVID-19 lockdown, how can Mother's Day be special? That's kind of how I was feeling. Like, I don't know if the girls are going to remember. Should I even think they should remember? Maybe it's not really important. After all, the world is in a pandemic. Who cares about Mother's Day? But in my heart of hearts, I'm feeling like, I hope they remember. But there's a 12-hour time difference, actually even more than 12-hour time difference. So when it's Mother's Day in Singapore, it's not Mother's Day in America yet. So there's no Mother's Day greeting on the WhatsApp. So I'm like, okay, never mind. Never mind. It's just another day. I was feeling a little bit small, insignificant. But of course, I appreciate how my kids pulled through. That night, my son made a very special effort to grill the steaks for us, and it was really yummy. And he knows I like steak, and also he knows that I've been cooking and cooking and cooking. So for him to take over cooking duty was his way of saying, Mom, you're important. It's a small thing, no big party, no big fanfare, but just knowing that I need a break from cooking and I like this kind of food, that made me feel special. Now, nothing came from the girls on Mother's Day, so I was a little bit, I'm not really sad, just a little bit. But then the next morning, I got a delivery. I got flowers. Ta-da! From my first daughter. And I thought, wow, that's a very special delivery. It's just a card, right? You know, just something small. And it's simple. But you know what? She put a lot of effort in, actually, to making this happen. She tried to send something from the U.S., and they would not deliver to Singapore. So she went and looked up a Singapore website that had some kind of, items she thought would be fun, and she got it delivered to me. Now, it wasn't exactly on Mother's Day, but it was so special anyway. I appreciate the effort. Even a little card made me feel so special in my heart. I got another little gift today. I don't know if you can see this. Maybe Tekming can take a picture for you. It's a set of earrings, very small, from my second daughter. Also for Mother's Day, although it's 2 weeks difference. And something small, but something she knew I would really like. Sometimes we feel a bit like nobody's really caring about us. And then people make that effort to do something special, and it just fills our heart and encourages us. I can imagine that's how Peter felt when Jesus healed his mother-in-law. After all the busyness of the day, he still took time to say, hey, something that matters to you, Peter, also matters to me. Thank you for letting me share today.
For Patrice, it was not a small thing. It was a big thing, something very important to her. But, to the rest of us, it's like, it's just Mother's Day, a small thing, right? I know I have that tendency. Sometimes you look at Mother's Day, it's like, well, it's just another day. It's a small thing. But yet, when the girls sent that card to her, the little gifts, it felt so special to her. That her small things are just as important to the girls. And in the same way, that's how Jesus looked at us. Our small things to Jesus are just as important to him. And Jesus wants to make our small things special. Let us read another verse to show you how important those small things are to Jesus. Your small things. Mark chapter 1, verse 40 to 41. A man with leprosy came up to him and begged him on his knees, if you are willing, you can make me clean. Filled with compassion, Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. I am willing, he said, be clean. Here's another situation, a leper, someone who is insignificant to society, someone who is an outcast, where people look down on. They don't even want to care. But to Jesus, this small, insignificant person was very important to him. And when the leper came and said to Jesus, Jesus, please help me. Can you clean me? Are you willing? I love the verse here. You know what Jesus said? I am willing. Wow. Think about that statement from the Lord. I am willing. Jesus is always willing to take care of the small things, the important things in our life. Though it might be insignificant to others, but to Him, all your small things are just as important to Him. So, brothers and sisters, I want you to look at your life. Do you feel insignificant? Do you feel like you're small? Do you feel like nobody cares? Think about it a little bit. Why do you feel that way? So often, it's our own perception of ourselves. But this time, I want you to take a moment to reflect on yourself, not through your own eyes, or not through the eyes of your friends, your neighbors, your family, or other people around you, but through Jesus' eyes. If Jesus were to be here today, what would He say to you? Would your small things be small and insignificant? Or would it be something that matters to Him? Thank you very much, brothers and sisters, to another coffee moment with the Father.